Death blow. Death blow. Death blow. Death blow.
Hello, this is Christian Long from Death Descending, and you're listening to Death Blow Podcast.
2025 is arrived on Death Blow Podcast. Welcome guys with a new year that arrived and with new interviews and new content. But before that, subscribe, like and share Death Blow Podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts and YouTube. Instagram, Facebook and TikTok with new updates. Follow me there also. Today I present you a new band from Pennsylvania. Their death metal sound is very good. They are Death Descending. So let's start with the first interview of the year. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Death Blow Podcast. This is me, Darkel, and you are Christian.
Yes, I am.
Hello Christian, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, very good. I'm fine. And so it's me, Darkel. This is Death Blow Podcast. Welcome to the channel. I am a YouTuber, and of course, I even have a Spotify where you can listen all my episodes that I've done about artists. So today we are talking about your band, Death Descending. What can you tell me about?
Actually, the lineup all bailed, and it's just me. It turned into a one-man band. On all the recordings, that's how it is.
Why did you choose this name, Death Descending?
It was just the band name. There's a lot of warring going on in the world right now, and I thought it'd be a good fit for the world because I wanted to talk about like current events and stuff like that in my music.
And what else can you tell me about? What are you doing now? What are you experimenting right now about music?
I'm sort of mixing together genres. I'm mixing together like black and death metal, post metal, and slam death metal to get a unique sound.
Yeah, seems kind of cool. So, that Descending album is entitled like your own band. Why?
I couldn't think of an EP name, so I just had it be self-titled since there's a self-titled song too.
There is no other reason, so it's because of that.
Yeah. It just sort of fits the themes of like the news with the world, with war and stuff.
Yes, and listening to this record that I listened to it, I perceive a sort of death metal influence, correct?
Yeah.
And what are this inspiration? What is your point of inspiration?
The bands that inspire me are like newer death metal bands like Gate Creeper, Fulci, I think is how you pronounce it. Tumult. I also like older death metal bands like Job for a Cowboy too.
So you come from Pennsylvania. So seems like a cool country. How is the American scene, and have you ever had the chance to talk with important musicians from there?
I met like a lot of local musicians, but I haven't met too many of the bigger names. Pennsylvania is a great state for metal. The scene's good. There's always a crowd. It may not be the biggest crowd, but there's always a crowd there.
Yeah, and I was very curious about the American scene because in Europe we tend to have a different kind of perception of music. So I was curious about this American scene. Do you have festivals, of course? And I was curious, how would you promote your music there in United States?
I mostly promote my music through word of mouth and like online websites and promotion services. We do have festivals. There's like larger, like bigger name touring festivals, and there's a lot of local festivals, like even just around like the area of Pennsylvania I live in or around Pittsburgh. Like they will have their own local festivals along with bigger touring ones.
Wow. And so it seems like very cool, right?
Yeah. They're very fun.
Coming back to this album, what about the album cover? Who designed it?
Gavin Fornelli, he's the vocalist of the band Wind Chimes. He drew it. I don't know. I wanted a picture like of a dying person, like as the album cover, and that was the closest thing he had drawn up. So I purchased the art.
I found two lyrics from this album, which is an EP format, and I noticed themes like fears and pain. What can you tell me more about the lyrical part? What are the themes?
The themes are sort of like death and loss in a way. There's more than that. It has to deal with like dealing with loss personally or like preparing yourself for it. The self-titled song "Death Descending" actually is like a concept song, being in the like shoes of a person who's terminally ill. And then "Death Dealer" deals with loss from drugs, because there's a lot of drugs that can kill you in the United States and in the world today very quickly. And then "Where No Light Treads" is just like the darkness around your mindset whenever you're dealing with death in any way.
Drug consumption, the addiction, which is a very important question there, especially in your country, where there is a high rate of drug addiction. You were telling about this.
Yeah, not so much where I live, but in other parts of the country it's getting really bad.
Yeah, really hope that the government could do something related to this one day, or at least taking care more about people that are having this addiction and try to find a way to recover them.
Yeah.
Where did you record this album?
I recorded it in my house actually, and then it was mixed and mastered by Dakota Dufour, who owns Dufour Audio.
How much time required to record this entire EP?
I'm not sure. I didn't really keep track. I just kind of recorded for fun whenever I had free time. Probably between like 10 and 20 hours.
Yeah, that's cool. I was listening to some songs, and I really like the arpeggio parts in some songs. And you did a good job with the guitar.
Thanks.
Yeah, so what can you tell me about the guitar structures?
The guitar structures of this EP are mostly fixed on like tremolo picking and slams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see throughout most of the EP. There's some like kind of death metal riffs and "Where No Light Treads" and "Death Dealer," but the first two songs are basically like straight slams, and then the rest of the EP is sort of where the classical death metal gets mixed in.
Yeah, but did you study music or is more self-taught?
I'm self-taught, but I also took college classes on music, but they were very basic.
Yeah. So especially about notes and stuff like that, or pentagram and stuff.
Yeah.
So there is nothing specific more about the music class, like music theory, I guess.
Yeah, it's covered music theory. It was covered Western music, like the introduction to Western music.
Yeah.
And then one of them was about jazz music,
Yeah.
which I didn't really use on this EP.
Yeah, but jazz is really important in a way about the tempo parts, I guess. So jazz is very different from metal. So I think you have to use a different structure for jazz, right?
Yeah.
But do you like jazz, or do you prefer metal, or you try even to experiment with that?
I prefer metal, but I like every genre of music. I would experiment with more genres of music in my future releases, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have a label right now?
I'm released this EP with Wormhole Death. They're an Italian label.
Yeah, that's so cool. How do you feel to be a part of and be signed on a label?
Feels good. I like having the benefits of having a label to do stuff for me.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
I'm not sure if you are playing live, because you are a one-man band. So, are you going to collaborate with other musicians in the future?
Yeah, I'm working on getting a live lineup right now to play the songs I already have written. I just didn't want to wait for the live lineup to be ready for me to release songs, because I wanted to have songs out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
People like my vocals and wanted to hear them, so I wanted to get my recordings out to those people.
Yeah, so that would be cool to have a concert where people could go and see you live and listen to your songs even from this record.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm working on. because the live part of a band's promotion is probably the best part.
What is your best influence musically speaking? Do you have a best musical influence?
Not really. I'm just influenced by the bands I already listed. I like black metal too, but I'm not like an expert on black metal. Black metal, it's definitely Emperor.
Wow. And Emperor in a way influenced even a bit this EP. I listened a bit. What can you say more about Emperor or other black metal bands that influenced this EP?
Emperor, I got some influence from Mayhem too. I do like one of Mayhem's albums a lot. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. There's also a band called Abigail Williams that I listen to. The Mayhem album is Grand Declaration of War.
That album. Yeah, that album is very experimental as well, with keyboard a bit, and then of course there was Maniac on that album. You like even experimental albums about Mayhem? That's very cool. Do you see differences between American scene and European scene? Because, for example, Mayhem and Emperor have more this.
Yeah, I feel like Europe is a lot more like classically orchestrated with their sounds. Like I feel like whenever you listen to European metal, it sounds more like a classical orchestra. And whenever you listen to like American metal, it sounds more like a rock band.
That's the most difference that I noticed too, because we Europeans tend to be more influenced by classical music. So that's a fact, and instead Americans use more the guitar parts, and that's something that I totally agree with you about it. Your style is a mix of black and death metal and post metal. What does it mean, the word and the genre post metal?
Post metal encompasses sort of like the atmospheric parts, like at the end of Death Dealer and at the beginning of Wearing No Light Treads, and at the end of it, those like parts with clean guitar or chord progressions, those are sort of influenced from post metal.
Because it's a new genre that I never listened before, so that's why I'm asking you.
You should check it out.
Yeah. How do you see yourself in the future?
I see myself making songs for my listeners like I'm doing right now. I definitely expect more songs on future releases than the current ones, because the first one's just an EP.
It is very interesting, honestly, because you are influenced by different things, and even into this EP I listened to this. Right now, last question, something that I forgot to ask that you want to specify for the people and the audience that are going to listen to you?
I want to specify that you should expect lots of changes on the different recordings, that no one album or EP is going to sound like the previous one. They're all going to be unique in their own ways.
It has been an amazing interview.
That was all I had to talk about. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. It has been a nice pleasure to talk with you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you to have participated with me on Death Blow Podcast. Subscribe, like and share my episodes everywhere. Instagram, Facebook and TikTok with more content. See you soon guys, and welcome to 2025.